from the Wausau Curling Club. It is Wisconsin State High School Bonspiel Championships for curling. And we are in round 2 now as we pick up action with Poynette and Wausau East with Ethan Bedesum, a senior at DC Everest. He's going to be our commentator, color, other things. You know, Ethan, welcome.
Hello.
And mainly I'm going to be asking you for strategy and, you know, how things worked out.
Yeah.
Right now we pick up the game, the match, in the third end after 2. It is Poynette leading East 2-0. So looks to me like they're just about done with end 3. If you look at, there aren't any rocks or stones left on the other end. Wausau East lost their opener to Partyville. Poynette defeated the other, I don't remember the team, but it's 16 boys teams, 16 girls teams, and they have 4 different sets for the 16, and then it's round robin. So it's not like an elimination to begin with. It's within your group of 4, just like the Olympics, kind of a setup where they use for hockey and so forth. So Ethan, here we are.
Yes.
We'll pick it up. And because Poynette scored in the first 2, East has the hammer.
So this will be most likely their skip's last shot here.
Okay.
East is red. Actually,
and this is their last shot.
Actually, if East is red, that means that Poynette has, what is it? Poynette is actually down 2.
Okay, you're taking a look at, there are 8 sheets of ice in this beautiful facility, and we are doing the game between Poynette and Wausau East boys in sheet 3 on the rink.
Yeah, East is red, so.
Okay, well, right now a yellow.
Poynette is down 2, looking to take a command here in the third end. This appears to be the first shot by their skip, Trevor Marquardt.
Okay.
Very strong curler. So.
A lot of these names from last year, Marquardt, Rink, McNichol, you know, there are names you remember. Reiki.
Reiki.
For East as the skip.
Oh, there are some long-term curlers on this ice right now. So that was a nice raised take right there.
Okay.
Double raised take, and unfortunately, their third wasn't able to sweep out that red. So not ideal, but still a great shot.
So right now, Poynette with the red, they have lie with 1. Okay.
This should be the last shot by the East skip, Will Reiki.
And that would be the hammer. Okay.
Looking to maintain a lead. Some discussion on his shot going on right now.
You know what I think, Ethan? Yeah, East is red. Okay. East is ahead 2-0 after 2. We're finishing up end 3. So they're in good position. Now that would mean that Poynette would still have the hammer yet, right?
Yes. Poynette would still have the hammer.
Okay, we're going to set the stage here as we pick these matches up usually in N3 or N4. Getting set up beforehand with all of our equipment and everything.
Now that shot looks a little light, just based on the camera, but
you know, it looks a little different live than it does on the monitor. I think you're going to notice that.
Okay, makes sense. Now that draw there,
I mean, it's on the edge.
Though not ideal and not covering their stone. So it looks like it's better than nothing.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Okay. This is the hammer.
Marquardt looking to take 2 here by making a successful takeout.
Yeah, you can see his jersey. You know, the boys' teams here are kind of dressed up. The girls always seems to have their matching outfits, like walking around the stands. And the boys, some teams, it's whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
some teams will,
they like to look colorful, put on fancy caps and the like. But in this situation, we've got
uniforms, basically.
Yep. And they're taking their time.
You have the skip for Poynette in a different coat, so kind of differentiating him.
I'm still going over instructions here. This is a big stone for Poynette. They're down 2-zip already.
Yeah, they ideally want to tie it up here. And
now Marquardt is set. Trevor Marquardt. Remember him from last year.
The state champion of last year's.
Yeah, I'm going to look at their rosters from last year because I think they were. Well, this is
so very strong.
Straight on, strong, heavy.
Oh.
And that's it.
Yeah.
1 for East.
1 for East again.
Okay, so the end of 3, it is 3-0 Wausau East as we get set for end 4. I'm going to just take a look at some of the information here we have. This group that we're talking about here, Poynette, and that's ancient. I mean, that's one of the first 3 curling clubs in the state. Partyville's another one.
Yeah.
And then East goes back into the 60s, senior high. And then Mosinee also is in this foursome. The winner, you know, after the second round, then you have another one within your group, and then you have your playoffs. And if you look at the boys' rosters, Poynette has Marquardt, as we mentioned, Holman, McNichol, and Thurston, and then they always list an alternate.
Yeah.
In case they need the other person. Wausau East, they're all on the ice. Reike, Geiger, Nygam, and Bloom. Xander Niles is their alternate. There's a list of champions in here somewhere in this printout. We got a nice printout.
I like
schedules.
I like on the
rosters. 3 pages of instructions for the players.
History.
Okay.
Oh.
Here's the history for the girls. And Spash won last year. History for the boys.
Last year was
Poynette. It's the same group.
Yes, same group. So they're looking to hold on to their title.
Exactly.
State
championship. That's nice to be able to pick up that championship team.
Yeah.
You know, early in the round, because you never know what's going to happen. But at least we know now that Wausau East is taking on the best.
Yeah.
From last year.
And they're doing.
And so far, so good.
They're doing well.
3-0 after 3 ends. And so we go back on the ice and we get going here with
Wausau East and Poynette.
Yep. Ben Bloom is the lead for East. That just got across the line there.
That is a high center guard.
Yeah, a high log line guard.
Now, from what I've heard, the Poynette team is very focused and well drilled on takeouts, so we could see them try to steer towards more of a takeout game.
Okay, that's good to know.
Calling for a split here, which really shows that he trusts the skills of his team, as if it is too high on weight, it'll knock potentially both stones out.
Okay.
And we have Evan Negum. Is that there?
Okay.
No, wait, where is he? Okay. Ethan McNiland. is their second, making the split. Oh, actually, they are splitting the house here. So that is a nice split of the house.
Mm-hmm. You know what's confusing me a little bit? The skip for Poynette's in red.
Yeah, and then the,
Okay.
then
And
East
so-
is red.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're looking at red and black.
Uh-huh.
And, okay, here we go. This should be, if I'm right now, this should be Evan Nygum
Evan Nygum.
for East.
Some good sweeping on part of
Yeah.
the East team.
You know what? I remember the cap
Yeah.
on his teammate last year
Yeah.
for East.
I remember I asked him about that once in practice, and he said his grandma made it for him.
Well, that's cool. Now, you
They-
practice with East and with West, and
we all practice at this same
Mosinee?
facility. Yeah, we all practice
Okay.
at this same facility. We all
Yeah.
get familiar with each other.
oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how friendships are built.
Oh, yeah.
Teenagers, my experience, friendships are built on common interests and skills,
Yeah, absolutely.
and curling is a big one because it's a social sport to begin with.
Yeah. There's a lot of communication.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now this is Ethan McNichol.
Of the Poynette team.
Yep. He's their second. You can see on the
He's-
monitor on the screen as you watch, you know, the buttons to see where they are in terms of
Yeah.
who's doing what. And the score is up there as well. So you don't really need the scoreboard.
So this is a
Wow.
commanding position already
Wow.
in the house for Poynette.
They
Sitting
decided to
three.
get serious.
Yes, they did. They were must have not been too happy after the 3 ends.
Okay.
Let's see how East reacts here. Ideally, they are looking for a double to try to clear some of this Poynette granite out of the house.
Okay, this is Evan Nygum now. See the concentration, and they want enough weight, so they're busy.
Yes,
And again, they can't touch any stones along the way.
and that was a nice double.
Hey, that did all right. They got
Yeah.
2 out. That was their goal.
Yeah, now they are count as well.
Yep.
So this is
Okay. So now we go to the
Poynette with a takeout.
McNichol
Yes,
with his second throw.
looking to again split the house some more. Create 2 different objectives, if you will, for the Wausau East team.
They're busy too.
Yes, both teams are really putting in a lot of effort.
Okay, they did what they
Did all right
wanted to do, pretty much. Now we go to the thirds.
for Wausau East.
East is Andy Geiger.
Now you may see Wausau East here. Depending if they want to limit Poynette's score or if they want to try to steal again, they may call for a takeout or a draw behind. It looks like they're actually calling for a double here. Now, even if they miss a double, they'll still be able to make a good takeout on this center one right here. So it is worth the risk. And you have the third, Andy Geiger, for Wausau East.
Yep.
He's got the fancy cap and is ready to go.
Okay.
Looks like they're getting on that. A lot of sweeping work from both teams here.
Well, as the day goes on, the rink ice
Yeah,
is a little slower.
Slower.
Well,
So that was a decent takeout there.
yeah. Okay, but they're holding their own so far.
This is some good play from East and Poynette. Now there's not as many guards, and for Wausau East, without them having the hammer, this gives an advantage to Poynette in score.
Well, the more open the circle is, the hammer has more advantage, I would imagine.
Yes.
This is Will Palman
from Poynette to make a take.
Well, let's
Will
see
it
where he
stay
goes
in?
with his.
Unfortunately, it is going to roll out.
Okay.
Now
Little too heavy. Okay. Now back to Geiger, his last.
Now this can give East a chance here to clear the house. And this is good for limiting score and keeping Poynette on the back foot.
Like a lot of alternate sports, you know, being on the offensive end or defensive end late becomes really important.
Yes. A lot of focus here on the part of...
Yeah, Andy's giving some directions. Very involved. They're working. They're going to take it out all right. Depends upon where they end up.
And that is good. That is.
Well, they almost have a guard way out in front.
Almost a guard, but...
Not quite, but I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're down to Poynette's Palmen, Will Palmen.
Will Palmen, last shot for their third.
So in round one, we saw the girl champions from Spash in the broadcast. And now we're seeing the boys from last year in the championship, defending the championship.
And both of those teams remain for sure state competitors.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so now we're down to the skips, the fourth. They don't have to be the fourths. They can be whatever, but in this case, they are.
Now they really need to make sure they hit these takeouts right here. Otherwise, they could be looking at a 2-ender or 3-ender for Poynette. Now, a lot of curling is about morale and the mental game. And I think you can see Wausau East is very high on their mental game, giving their consecutive scoring for the first 3 ends. And hopefully that'll help their play against Poynette.
Well,
now the roll out here.
Yeah, it'll get out of there. Open.
Yes.
How many times, Ethan, have you seen a draw, no scoring in a bonspiel like this or this level?
It is quite common. Actually, and especially at bonspiels at this level, if a higher skilled team feels that they can do better at next end, they will purposely blank and try to keep possession of hammer.
Okay.
And that also works. That also works well when you think about the 8 ends that are traditionally played in a game of curling. So if they feel that they can get the advantage later on, they will try to do that.
Okay.
But I think Marquardt will be looking for a front house biter to prevent a takeout from counting.
You know, he's going to get it, I think.
Oh, and around.
A little heavy.
A little heavy, but.
Wow.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Heavier than
I'm sure he's not happy with that one. Not happy with that one because that switches.
That switches the momentum.
That it does.
If East can make the shot that they just called, this will again put Poynette potentially at losing another end. Which
they would almost. Yeah, almost a takeout would be one for them. That's it. Okay. Discussion?
I would say that
Will Reike.
Will Reike here.
He's done some curling in his lifetime.
Yeah. I know that in the 3 years that I've curled, he has been curling with me. So he's either curled for 3 or 4 years, maybe more. So he does have the experience that is required a lot of times in these close curling matches. Now he does want that to curl over more, but from what I am seeing, that is a decent shot. Not covered enough to prevent a takeout.
No, the takeout is there, that's for sure. But it's got to be on.
It's got to be. They really have to nail it here. Otherwise, it has the potential to roll out and a blank of an end.
I haven't seen one of those in the tournaments yet.
Really?
Nope.
That's always interesting.
Nope. Well, this is either one for East, one for Poynette, or a draw.
You may see a momentum shift here as Poynette finally puts up some score and starts to...
This is in the 4th of 8 ends, so it's like mid.
It looks to be...
Oh, that is not what he planned on doing.
No, it is not.
Wow.
That means that Wausau East, again,
gets another
point in the 4th end. This is some good play on part of the Wausau East. Constantly stealing one here really hurts the mental game of Poynette, and they need to start looking for any small victory they can get here.
Okay, we played 4. East up 4-0 over the defending state champions.
I would not count Poynette out yet.
No, they've been in this kind of a situation, I'm sure, just about every year as they've been together.
You can see a timeout being called, and I think you can tell by the look on the East's coach that she is very impressed with the play of her team, and I'm guessing
mostly smiles.
Yeah, mostly smiles.
And
here you see the Poynette coach. I feel drawing up a strategy.
You know, I got to know a little bit the Poynette coach last year.
Last tournament.
And you talk about someone that is involved in the game, supporting his team, and also communicating with people like myself who are looking for rosters or things like that. It was great. He was just really nice to work with, very personable.
That's good. And that's what you need from a coach, someone who can relate to the players, get good communication, work with everybody.
Yeah.
Cutting to the commentators here.
Well, Ethan, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah?
4-zip East.
I know. East is playing very well.
You know,
they were playing very well. Especially...
They went through, I mean, Poynette had the hammer.
They have had the hammer for
all the way through after
3 ends at
least. 3 ends, and so far they have held their own. And plus, I mean, even if you get one each time, which is the case right now, they haven't posted the 4th yet, but
they'll probably get done that.
You know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 left to go.
Especially if they keep playing like they do and leaving Poynette with these 1 increment ends. Unless Poynette can get some 2-enders or start racking up some score right now, they are going to be on the back foot.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of things on this tournament. You know, there are a lot of thank yous. A lot goes into this tournament. This is a great facility. I mean, they provide lunches. They have a seating area with tables. You can see on the side they have windows all the way along one side of the sheets of the rink. Nice fireplace.
Oh yeah.
Facilities, lockers for the players. And it is used. This curling club, it is a progressive group. They got it done. This was their dream, and it's here. And just to see all these high school students involved now, 32 teams, you know, it has to make everybody that started this facility feel good about it.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, we're ready to go.
Especially given the fact that it is a world-class facility.
Yeah, right.
That looks to be... They must be looking for that just over the center guard, as they have done in previous ends, and it has done well for them. So should be good. And he's able to put it back up right in the middle. That's a nice shot by Ben Bloom. Ben Bloom.
Yep. You can see Reike and Marquardt. They are the 2 skips.
So Marquardt here calling for a draw around, and this is that aggressive type of play that they should really be trying now in these later half of the game.
Well, this is early and end 5.
Now, it looks as though it won't be completely covered, if covered at all, by the guard that East just threw up, which is good for them. They appear to be calling for a sit on top of it. So anticipating a takeout, you want to try to draw the stone as close to your opponents as possible. And then when they do try to take it out, you will knock their stone out and remain in a position of importance.
Well, in this game, unlike the one I did earlier today, which seemed like it took a long time, these boys are out there and ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
But as you get deeper into the match, the more...
That is a nice freeze there. It is still takeable. I will not put it past... Ooh, he's calling for another freeze on it.
Yeah.
So this stacking effect that can go on in a lot of these well-played matches can mean that you get some really crazy shots, especially towards the end of an end. Yeah.
Okay.
Where you get a lot of stones being moved. So I'm excited.
This is Thurston again. Coleman Thurston. Again, Poynette has the hammer in this end.
So this will make it harder for East to get that raise take that they're looking for. And he's going to call for the removal of that stone by his second, Evan Negum.
Okay. This is Evan, ready to go. Approach and release of the stone. And some teams, they go with them all the way down.
Yeah.
Other teams, they, okay.
Wade in the back.
Yeah. This is heavy.
Yes. So that'll roll out. It'll accomplish what was called, but not exactly what they needed. So I'm assuming, yes, Marquardt will recall and try to get another guard to prevent the raise take.
A little game of chess right now.
For sure.
Ethan McNichol, the redhead, lets it go.
Yeah. Appears he's throwing it really light here, but they might be looking for that high guard to, oh, wow, that's kind of, like you said, live to on the live feed here. Does look a little different. They are going for the raise take though. It curled just a little bit too much. And if they can do this raise take right here, this will give them a commanding position again and put Poynette on a back foot and cause them to remove some of their guards.
Okay. Evan, Eigen.
You can see the squat that a lot of the skips do. He was a little wide there.
Oh, missed it. Totally.
Yep.
Well,
now this is an interesting position, and you can see Marquardt calling for the removal of that stone, as it is putting him in a position where it can't be a high-scoring end. And that is not what they need towards these later ends. They need to start gaining that momentum.
yeah. Okay. Okay. This is setting up to be more than one stone.
Yes.
Either way, right now.
So he's trying to convince his teammate
Yeah.
into the
Which one
shot.
are you more comfortable with?
So they switch it up, and they're now going for
Yeah.
a shot with less negative misses.
That is a good sequence for us to watch, because that was the communication right there of sharing a responsibility.
Yes. That is what makes the key to a good team, that communication between the skip and banter.
They're watching it go. I'm suspecting this is going to be where they want it.
Looks a little
Little
heavy.
long, a little heavy.
Now Reiki trying to sweep it out.
Well,
Now this does give backing, which means that even if they do hit the raise take on the shot over here, it could mean that there still is a yellow in play.
yeah.
Now ideally, if we see the best outcome for East here, they will be able to do the raise take and double out the yellow in the house. However, it appears there's a communication going on with the curlers.
Yeah. Okay, now they nod in agreement, and Andy,
No.
here we go.
Stone coming down.
A lot of the second round
look-
games are ending already.
Yeah.
Matches.
And it looks wide
Ooh.
again. Oof.
Wow.
So it appears like it'll fall on to the either the skip of East or the final shot from Andy Geiger.
And he's got one more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is
This
Will?
is Will from Poynette,
his second.
looking to do the draw once again. It's his third.
They're happy with it.
Yeah. Does look just a little heavy again.
Well, you know, there's a lot of this heavy.
It is creating a backing
Yeah.
for East to potentially come around and do a draw, but he is very, very set on doing the raise take. He must really trust his players to be able to make this shot.
Here comes Geiger's.
He really got out there and shot that pretty fast. No,
Oh, this is an important stone right here.
yeah.
If it does what they want it to do.
And it did.
It sure
Now
did.
it is not, yeah.
It sure did.
Yeah.
Talk about a change.
And that is pretty covered by the stone, but you can start to see the yellow guard up in front, but you can start to see Marquardt looking for a raise take here.
Yeah.
Yep. Blow it up.
Destroy it.
Yeah. He's looking for an elimination of all these guards.
Yep. Just
Now,
that's not easy to do, though.
it is not easy to do, but given their state championship title last year,
Yeah.
I can say it is most likely within their ability.
The third, Will Palman.
Going to make a very fast, very heavy shot, but critical if they want to prevent East from again taking another point here.
They want to blow it up.
Oh yeah. You can tell by their skips, broom movements that he is really emphasizing.
Yeah, there we go.
Now it does look like it has the weight.
Well, look at that.
Not enough to knock both of them out,
No.
but
Still.
it is very hard to call a guard and get it exactly where you want it, especially with a team like Poynette. They can take any small opening on that stone and knock it out.
Well, we've got the skips involved now, and Will Reiki for East, Trevor Marquardt for Poynette, and Andy Geiger.
The third for East.
Yeah. The mate, sometimes they call it. Sometimes the vice skip.
Ooh, vice skip.
You know,
Commanding title.
any sport has its vocabulary.
Yeah.
Vernacular.
Vernacular.
Curling is no exception.
That's for sure. Reiki here talking to his sweepers. Always important to get that pep talk and explanation of what they're going to do before he skips stones.
This is they're all important now. Just have to remember.
With him sweeping the stone, I believe you can judge. I would.
They want a guard?
They want a guard, but it doesn't look like it's going to.
It's not going to curl enough.
It is not going to curl enough, unfortunately. Now this leaves.
Yeah.
Now this leaves a poor position for East, as a good takeout here from Poynette could leave them sitting 4, and this would be a massive shift in momentum for the game. And
okay. Marquardt
going to do, is this a double? Double on the red.
Okay.
This is again.
So he wants it a little off center to the right.
Counting for the stone to fall out of line a little bit.
Okay.
By no means.
He's coming.
Straight as can be. Here it is. This is.
Oh no.
Well, now
that is the negative miss that they were not looking for.
That's
and,
not it. Well, I'll tell
now
you
they
what.
now they have a discussion though. Do they guard up their gains, or and which one to guard up now? Because even if Poynette takes the one in the back, they will still be. They could still have the potential to sit 1.
Yeah, get 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which might be their strategy.
They need anything at this point.
Yeah.
They are playing very fast though. I was noticing the last game that was commented on had a lot of discussion going on.
Well, we're down to the last throw for East. Will Reike. His team up 4-0 after 4 ends.
Sitting 2.
Yep, yep.
Now he does have 2 positions here where he can guard. Wausau East is playing very well this game. They're really showing their stripes and the amount of experience and growth that they've had throughout the season.
Okay.
They are choosing to. Ooh, look at this draw. Now this is an interesting play.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
It would be very hard, given the position of that guard, for East, for the Poynette Marquardt to stick. But I will not put it past him to make a triple like he's mentioning here. And it is looking like they're going for a draw.
Well, yeah, and they have 1 there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that they can raise.
So if the draw is heavy,
You know.
now if they miss this, however, East being up 7 going into the 6th, 7th, and 8th end is not a good position. And as all curling teams, I feel they play better when they are loose and comfortable, smiling and talking. So this is not a good recipe here.
Number 1, he's got to get it there with some force.
And that is.
This might.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
I think this is just my feeling so far in this match, Ethan.
Yeah.
That Poynette from the first game to the second game, the ice is slower. They seem to have a.
They don't have the weight down.
Yeah, they don't have the weight down. They've got the direction, they've got the spin, they've got everything, but the weight is bothering them. They just aren't able to you know,
to play it.
To play it the way they want to or have played it.
And you can see East is taking full advantage of that with their draw games and focusing on keeping the house well guarded and preventing Poynette from doing a takeout game, which would be.
So for that one, how many points did I didn't even look at the ice at the ring. Was it 1 they got?
East scored 3 that end.
3?
Yeah. They're up 7-0.
Okay.
Going into the 6th end.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot to check that out as they were pushing them off.
This would be an upset for sure.
Yeah, yeah. If I remember right, you know, and some things you remember from one year to the next, others you don't. Marquardt did a phenomenal shot at the very end of the championship game last year to win it.
Yes, yeah, he did.
Now, it was either Spash Girls who won it that did that, but I think it was Marquardt.
I believe it was.
You know.
He is half of his team. He plays on 2 different teams. He has a U18 team, and they do play at a national and higher level for curling. So half of his team is bringing a lot of talent and a lot of practice too.
Okay, here we go. End number 6.
Now, this is interesting here because this was the first end we've commentated on where they haven't been able to put up that center guard for East. And this is kind of a position that Poynette wants to be in, as there will be nothing for East to shoot, for East to draw around. It is looking like.
Okay, this is Ben Bloom's
second stone.
Second, yeah. Again, I don't know if Poynette's been in a situation to have the hammer
this long.
That often.
Yeah, this long.
Okay.
An interesting high guard.
High
guard's good for raises and all rounds as well.
And this is Coleman Thurston with the second throw.
It looks like he'll be able to.
He'll split that.
Will he split?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Now this is creating an interesting port here that I'm guessing Reiki will try to use.
Okay.
Drawing around.
Evan Nygam.
For their second. Lining up here. Making sure that his eyes remain focused on his skip's call. Again, great sweeping work on the parts of East and Poynette. This is really helping them maintain a lead, and for Poynette to. Now that does look a little heavy. But if he keeps sweeping it back there, it does bury itself more behind those guards.
Okay.
He's going to call a sit on top of it, like he did, like similar to the last end, except roles reversed for East and Poynette.
Ethan McNichol with the release.
Very focused. There's a lot of communication after every shot is thrown. You get the, what you hope for at least, is you get the person who is making the shot, for them to communicate on part with the skip and the sweepers, telling them how they felt. And you can see that on camera here with Poynette and Wausau East.
Back to
Wausau East with
Nygam.
a interesting position. It appears that they might be calling for a blow-up of these guards up in the front. again, that lineup, very important.
Yeah, look at the scoreboard there. And 7-0 after 5 is not what we predicted. Anybody would have predicted.
No.
Not that I predicted anything, but just based on the situation.
Now it appears to be another draw behind. It doesn't look to have the weight though. So it'll just be a center guard. This is actually decent because it prevents a port and the chance for Marquardt and Poynette to score those big ends that they need to be looking for here in these last 3 ends.
Ethan McNichol.
Up for the draw.
And it's going to be
a
raise.
A raise for East. This is
that's not their plan.
Yeah, these negative misses are not good for Poynette here. Now it'll be interesting if Wausau East is okay with this status quo of Poynette counting 1, or if they are going to go for the draw.
Yeah.
The draw to it.
Yeah.
Now what they could do alternatively is blow up those 2 guards sitting up at the front there and open it up. And it appears that is what he is looking at. And going to call. What do you know?
Okay.
Now this is interesting because this could negatively impact them in the long run, as without Hammer.
Yeah. Andy Geiger looking on as looks like they got plenty of weight.
Ooh. So that did clear it up and prevented that stacking. So if they were to go for a long raise, that is there now, and it still does cover the port. So Marquardt calling for a sit or a takeout.
Yeah.
You can tell that he really thinks through his options here.
East looks to me like they're willing to give up one.
Yes. They just need to keep the score down low enough on part of Poynette and hopefully score these next 3 ends to clinch a victory. Now, judging by. So, opened it up a little bit for a draw. It'll be interesting to see what Reike calls. What they need is a draw to the button to have them count, and they're going for it. East has been doing very well on their draws these past couple events. So
yeah, this is Andy Geiger.
They have their weight cued in, something that Poynette has been struggling with.
I'm sorry, boys, that motioning your hand doesn't.
it
might psychologically do something, but it's natural, isn't it?
It is natural.
Okay, right now Poynette has 2, lying 2.
They are lying. Well, they have 3.
No, 1.
Yeah, they're lying 1.
They're lying 1. I'm sorry, yeah.
It appears that they might go for the draw to the back there.
This is second shot now for Paulman. You know, the more stones you have sitting in the circle or near the circle, the more maybe even luck comes into play here because it's so.
The chances of collisions.
All over the
on
place.
collisions.
Yeah.
It'd be very hard to foresee.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
You can't predict. This is Paulman.
Paulman. For his last shot of this end.
Yep.
The 6th.
Well, that's heavy enough to do something.
Raise of the yellow there. I'm not sure it is exactly what. Now, this does open up an interesting opportunity there through the port to get at that yellow count. Now, I'm not sure that this is what Wausau East wants, but it appears that they're going for it. This is not an easy shot, or they're going for the raise. The raise would be even crazier. Will Reike here.
Yep.
I think he does have his team's confidence and backing in his skills, though, as he has put up a commanding 5 ends.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they've had a great
game.
Match. I mean, game. They've really. I mean, you look at that scoreboard and the yellow how it happens to be Poynette, and it's blank.
Yeah, that is a.
And we're in the 6th end. I mean, come on.
That is very demoralizing on part of Poynette, and very a confidence booster on part of the East for sure. Now that does look. There's no sweeping on it, so they must be confident in the weight. All right,
Okay.
the call. Oh, it appears to be a little wide, but it still does cover up that stone, that red stone in the back. Now, Marquardt here could be looking. If you can see the yellow stones on the outside,
Yeah.
you can see that if they are able to nose that yellow back into that red and keep the stone that they shot with,
They would have 3.
they would be sitting 3 or 4.
4. Yeah,
So-
maybe 4.
And that is exactly the type of play that they need
Yeah.
in these final ends here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a possibility.
You see all the sponsors in the back.
Yeah. Pretty quiet rink. A couple of them going on. Number 1 still, number 2.
So Poynette looking to make.
This is Marquardt's first.
And they make it.
They did
so
it.
they are now sitting 4.
4.
And this will, unless East can use their final shot here to knock some granite out, this will be a change in momentum.
Yep.
Now what they could do would be a raise of that front center right there back into the button, leaving it guarded. It is by no means an easy shot, but if they were to keep and prevent Poynette from scoring, that would be how they do it. Or they could go for another draw. But it appears they're going for the double, which is still a good shot, especially if they get that roll behind their red guards.
Still making decision.
I'm guessing their skip, Will Reike, is talking to his sweepers down there, giving them the pep talk.
All set. Take a deep breath.
Kind of ready yourself.
Yeah. Very natural. You know, he knows they have the hammer, so you can't leave it sit the way it is.
Yes.
But you know what? I don't know.
Looks like it's a draw.
It's not going to be anything more than a draw.
It'll curl too much, I feel. Or not.
No, if it gets through. Wow.
Wow. All right then.
Okay.
That is something for sure.
Yeah.
So that Poynette is sitting 2 still, but this, if they do this takeout here, they will be sitting 5.
Wow.
That will be the momentum shift that East was really not looking for.
Right.
But it
Now, a couple of ends ago, Trevor Marquardt came up short, remember?
Oh, yeah.
He was late. So
we'll see here.
Yeah.
Negative misses have been affecting Poynette this entire game. So
but 5. Wow.
Well, that would be, it's very demoralizing, and it's the confidence booster that Poynette needs if they're going to take this game back.
Defend their title.
That is for sure.
Very few curling repeats, though, championships. You look at since in the 1960s, and it's rare for any team to repeat.
Shows the
occasionally they do.
Shows the amount of new talent and experience that a lot of people gain in the sport. So, let's see here.
Looks like he's gonna.
Oh
boy!
No.
So they get what?
I think there'll be a measure for whether
The second one.
there will be.
Wow. Holy cow.
Measure.
They may have to. I would think they'd bring it in.
Measure.
Yeah. The skips can't agree on it, so
they're looking at it, but you got to get that measurement stick out.
Yep.
It is looking like
Yep.
it is close enough for the measurement to be.
I would say so.
Now, if East were to take one here, that would mean that Poynette has to score. Really, it is between those two stones. Poynette would have to score 4 in 2 ends to at least tie it up. Now, that is very difficult, and if East can
There we go.
make a takeout here. I always liked doing these measurements. Made you feel very official.
Okay, now they just keep it going and see where it lines up with the other one, right?
Ooh, yeah, it is looking like red is 1.
I think so.
Oh,
I think so.
well, this
By
isn't
that much.
Yeah, this is an upset.
Wow.
Whew. What a great game to commentate.
It is. Well, it's
you got
you know it's not
play.
over.
It's not over, but you got some great play from East and.
Yeah. Wow.
Now I do not know, given the standings of everything, whether this will knock Poynette out of winning their pod or not. Because East
it doesn't have to.
Because East has won, both these teams have won their first games.
Yeah.
They just shook hands. Poynette just shook hands. Oh my goodness. Given the odds, Poynette is deciding that, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
What an upset for East. Wow. As you can see, I think that's the demoralizing aspect of not scoring for 6 ends, though.
well,
you get
they had opportunity. You can see them walking off dejected.
Yeah.
They had opportunities.
Yes, they did.
You know. Look at that. I mean, they're the defending champions, and they are.
Yeah. The sound defeated.
Defeated.
Yeah.
8 to nothing.
A win
Now,
for East.
one more question before we leave.
Yes.
Is the fact that East practices on this ice.
It is. I cannot deny that is a factor.
Okay.
But also, I would say, given the seed of Poynette and their record throughout the season, that Poynette had the ability to win this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't my question. My question was looking for some excuse for Poynette.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that ice is not a factor.
Yeah, but
you can
really,
also,
they don't have an excuse other than we didn't play as well.
That is true.
Because they had the opportunities. Okay.
Yeah.
That takes care of that one.
Yeah.
Ethan, we got one more to go yet today. One more, probably in the girls' competition.
That'll be nice.
Ethan Bedesem, I'm George Hirsch. Hope you enjoyed our broadcast of the state championship curling competition from the Wausau Country Club for Wisconsin Prep Schools. Until next time, take care.